Hey everybody, it's the coach, and this is Monday Night Football on EA Sports. Coming up, we'll get a chance to see Kirk Cousins and the Minnesota Vikings as they square off with Russell Wilson and the Seattle Seahawks. I'll be back at halftime to look at some of these stats and scores from Sunday's action. But for now, it's Monday Night Football. And to call the action, here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Well, Coach, no rain in the forecast. That's the good news, but it is a chilly December day here in the Northwest at CenturyLink Field in Seattle. These folks love their football in Seattle. This was the scene a moment ago as the home squad came out of the tunnel, and it was just absolutely deafening in this building. They're set for football, so are we, as the Seahawks get set to match up with the Minnesota Vikings. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Charles, you look at this Seahawks team as they get ready here. They come in losers of 2 straight, so they're trying to right the ship here a little bit.
They're teetering a little bit, aren't they? And now things could really go south if they lose this game, so they understand the importance of playing well and stopping this streak.
Meanwhile, for our visitors, the Vikings, they come in off the extended break from the bye.
I think it was much needed as well. You play 2.5 months, you're ready for some time off to get set for the home stretch.
The bye weeks are over. It's all about football all the time as we're underway here in Week 13. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Out come the Vikings with Kirk Cousins leading the way. Cousins surprisingly efficient in his first season as a member of the Vikings. He hit on better than 70% of his passes, second only to Drew Brees, and was actually just the 6th ever NFL quarterback to finish a season above that 70% mark. Here's Dalvin Cook, 3rd year back from Florida State. Call it officially a loss of 2 on the first play from scrimmage. 2nd down.
Nice play right there to stop him behind the line, but I want to see how this defense continues to play him here in the first half.
Yeah, we know. You know better than I. He has the ability to take over a game, so what do you do?
Yeah, I think you have to make sure that you bottle him in at varying levels, because if you crowd everyone to the line of scrimmage, if he breaks through, it's nothing but room to run.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. Cousins gives way to Cook. And he'll work his way across the 30 to the 32.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
And he's able to find Diggs.
Here we go. Here we go. Here we go.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
It's our time. It's our time.
Cousins. And Rudolph has it, the tight end. And he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40. Let's take a look here at the offense for Minnesota.
One thing for us to keep in mind and remember, they're coming off of their open week last week. They got to sit home and relax a little bit before the final stretch of the season. They got the lucky draw because every team in the league wants to have that open week later in the year rather than early. They benefited.
On 2nd down, Cook. And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, so they're left with a 3rd down and 6. Well, look now at our starting defense. They enter this one number 13, Charles, in the NFL in stopping the run.
I jotted down on my notes in prepping for this game that this is definitely an area we got to keep an eye on, because you're talking about where they rank in stopping the run. Well, how about what they're facing? This unit loves to run the football, and they rank highly in the league in getting it done.
Yeah, power against power. Something's got to give. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he will have the 1st down, but he winds up taking a pretty good shot that time. They get 6 on the pickup there as the drive will continue.
And the big guy catches the ball out of the backfield, and oftentimes it's quite a surprise to the guys playing defense, because not ordinarily thought as a pass catcher, it often works when they decide to dial it up.
2 first downs have him up near midfield now on 1st and 10. A toss to Cook. And he'll go down inside the 45 before going out of bounds. Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards. And it's 2nd and 2. Now a first carry for their fullback. And he'll go down shy of the 40 at the 41. 2 yards, good enough for a first.
Well, not a lot of flash and dash on that play. 2nd and 2, and they hand it to the big man. And he ends up picking up a first down. A little bit of gray area there, though. But I think what they thought, hey, we hand it to him here. If we come back and don't get it, we still got another down to try and pick it up.
And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down. A good run there on first down, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 2. On 2nd down now, it's Cook. And he'll be brought down at the 27-yard line. You were telling me this yesterday. This is exactly what they want to do on the opening drive, establish the ground game.
Yeah, remember our conversation? We were talking about what one of the GMs in the league has told me repeatedly. It's a big man's game, and it's not necessarily size. He's talking about playing some big boy football. Line up, get leverage, knock people back, and establish the run early.
So a glance here at the key inactives, and there's other reasons, but this list, one of the reasons they've been struggling some this year.
And one that they won't make excuses with, but everyone knows that this is the key reason. Without these players, it's made it very difficult for them this season. They've battled, they've scrapped, but without those guys, hard to win games.
And he'll get them inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. That one, a first down pickup of 8.
Okay, I'm not so great at math, but I just looked over at our statistician, Marvin, and he signaled to me 5 for 5 to get things started here on this opening drive. Where I come from, that's pretty good.
That is pretty good. Now, what do you do defensively to adjust?
Well, this is where you've got to make a decision as a defensive coordinator. Do you really get after the quarterback, or maybe you tighten down on the receivers, bump them off of their routes, chip away at their timing so things aren't as precise as they've been so far in this game?
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. Cousins again. It's complete to Diggs. And down inside the 10 here before he's out of bounds right around the 7. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down.
Well, I know from past experience, before you actually play a game, you visualize what's going to happen. And I don't know anyone who doesn't visualize themselves being in the center of what's going on. That's 3 catches for him here in the early going. He's got to like the way this is started.
Absolutely. 3 catches on any drive is good. Opening drive, that's a tone setter.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you'd better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
Yeah, when that field shrinks with those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because there's not enough space for receivers to run through.
So Cousins heads to the Vikings sideline, and on is Dan Bailey to try the field goal. From the left hash, a chip shot here. And Bailey able to knock it through. And the Vikings have a 3-0 lead. They moved the ball pretty well there on the opening drive. You think they're okay settling for 3?
I don't think they're happy about settling for 3, but I think you're exactly right with the word okay, because they threw it well, they ran it well. Excellent balance for the first drive of the game.
Now after the field goal, Bailey will kick it away. This is fielded at the chalk of the 10. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. So here come the Seahawks now for their first drive. They're led onto the field by their quarterback, a man who's made quite the name for himself in the NFL, and that's Russell Wilson.
And when I think of Russell Wilson, I think not just of the big plays that he's made, and those are considerable, but when they were made. 4th and 26 in a Big Ten championship game against Michigan State when he was with Wisconsin. A big completion helped lead his team to a victory. A big 4th down throw for a touchdown in an NFC championship game against the San Francisco 49ers. When the chips are down, this guy plays at a big level.
Here's Carson. Able to shake free for about 7 up to the 35.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber with runs like this early because they'll pay dividends as the game progresses.
So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. They run it with Carson. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. Officially, it will go as a 1-yard loss, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down. Plays like we just saw there. That's why they're up right now. And the defense, they're doing their job.
Yeah, it starts with the guys up front. So when you talk with GMs who are putting together a team, a lot of them say we're going to build from the inside out because if you control the line of scrimmage, you control the rest of the ball game, and that's what we're seeing here. They're actually playing in the offense's backfield, not necessarily just playing at the line of scrimmage.
Wilson now to throw on 3rd down. Here's Carson with a catch out of the backfield. And he's got the first down yardage before he's brought down at the 42. 8 yards on the pickup there, and it moves the sticks.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
Yeah, that was a good start, getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
Check back. Check back.
On 1st down, Carson, and 3 yards there, takes him to the 45. And we take a look at the offense for the Seahawks.
Big Dwayne Brown is still one of the top left tackles in the NFL. A 4-time Pro Bowler, he's respected around the league because of his big frame, nimble feet, and strong grip. When you rush the passer against Dwayne Brown, you're just hoping to get near the quarterback.
On 2nd down, it's Carson, and he'll be brought down at the 50 after a gain of about 5. Well, look now at our starting defense. They're currently 6th in the NFL in defending the run.
Most of their challenges have come in the passing game because against the run, they've been pretty darn good. Now you've got to figure out a way to slow down those receivers before they get downfield and maybe make a few more plays on the ball when it's in the air.
An extra defender in the secondary for the Vikings here on 3rd down. Now it's Carson. And he gets it down to the 48, enough for the first. It's a 1st down following a gain of 3.
I haven't met a football team yet that runs the ball successfully that doesn't talk about having an attitude to be a running football team, right? You got to be able to put your nose in there, smell where the 1st down sticks are, and get there.
They'll run on 1st down. Carson, and he'll get this down only to about the 46. The tackle made there by Linval Joseph.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
And he's going to be stopped just short of the 1st down marker at the Vikings 38.
Offensive linemen love creating space for their guys carrying the ball, but when that guy also breaks tackles and creates extra yardage, they almost feel like he's one of them, and they really embrace him.
This is Carson. He's not going to get there. That won't even be close. It was blown up in the backfield. Tough sledding. They lose a yard there on 3rd.
Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case, and that play got bottled up.
So on is Jason Myers. He's hit from as long as 58 in his career. This will be from 56 yards out. He's got the distance, but it's no good. Wide to the right, and this score will stay right where it is. So it's an empty trip downfield there as they get a missed field goal on 4th down.
And I didn't see anything in the setup. It's a good snap, good hold.
Yep.
He just pushed it, and that one never wanted to come back.
And this will probably be the last play of the quarter.
Oh, yeah, I'm coming. Oh, yeah, I'm coming.
Now an inside draw. This is their fullback. And he'll be taken down as that will take us to the end of the first quarter of play. 3-0 after 1 on EA Sports. From just shy of midfield, Cousins. And Diggs has it. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. A gain there of 30 big ones.
That's a real nice job right there, working the middle of the field, working against those safeties. And you know, partner, if you get your hips turned the wrong way, big plays can result.
And a big play resulted right there. So the big play gets them all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. And now a carry here for their fullback. And a couple of yards as they move it from the 21 to the 19.
Now that's the defense that they were looking for, being able to get extra bodies to the point of attack to deal with the big guy carrying the ball. You really don't want to be in a position where it's a one-on-one tackle with him.
Throwing on 2nd and 8, Cousins. And this one hauled in by Rudolph. And they'll work this down to the 15 for a pickup of 4. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down. The Vikings on 3rd down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 4. To throw, Cousins. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he has the 1st down before he's tackled at the 5.
Now that's often a surprise for the defensive guys when they see the big fella slide out of the backfield and catch the ball. Not something they usually go over in practice very often.
Cousins to throw it. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
Get your backs to the goal line. I can hear my high school coach right now. This is when force meets force. Got to be physical in order to win this battle.
Yeah, that's where the physicality pays off. A nice job forcing the contact and forcing the incompletion.
Yeah, Coach Ford would have loved that play.
Now Cook. And he's going to press this one forward as they stop him right around the 1. It'll be a gain of 5, and it's going to set up a 3rd and goal. So now things get interesting on 3rd and goal from the 1.
This almost becomes a Darwinian call, doesn't it? Almost survival of the fittest here. I know we can go all cliche. I'll go ahead and do it. Who wants it more here? Who has a better leverage at the line of scrimmage? Let's go and see what happens.
So they opted to pass for it on 3rd and goal. Let's see what they do on 4th and goal.
Well, I think they threw it with the idea that if they didn't get it, they would go for it on 4th and goal. So they've got another play in their pocket. They're going to have to call it right now. No field goal here.
And for the 2nd time tonight, his field goal unit comes out here. From the left hash, he'll have to cut this at a tight angle. Bailey's kick is good. And they're able to double their lead in this first half. It's 6-0. So scores on their first 2 possessions, but 6-0, so field goals probably not what they were hoping for.
Man, you're exactly right about that. Not what they were hoping for, but they should be happy that they have points on the board. It almost feels like that old slow and steady wins the race, doesn't it? In this case, though, they want to be slow and steady now, but get explosive later and put the points up on the board.
Fielded about a yard deep. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. Football continuing all December here on EA Sports. Coming up Thursday night, a good one from the Windy City. It ought to be a cold one, too. The Cowboys and the Bears from Soldier Field with coverage at 8:20 Eastern Time. Wilson and the Seahawks take over now, 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line.
Let's go, defense.
They'll start out on the ground with Carson. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. It's a gain of 12, 1st down Seahawks.
And that was a nice, strong run by the guy they call the field general.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10.
Let's go, D. Big Sears right here. We got to step it up.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2.
Oh, yeah.
Even though they gave up more than they wanted to on that play, it actually illustrates how well they bottled them up throughout the game because that was his longest run of this contest.
That's complete to DK Metcalf. And they're well past midfield, just a yard or 2 shy of the 40. From Viking territory now, they'll come up 1st and 10 at the 41. And he'll give it here to his running back. And they went the wrong way there, losing yardage back at the 43-yard line. This will be a 2-yard loss on the play, and that'll make it 2nd and 12.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
Waiting. They can't hang with us.
On 2nd down now, it's Carson. 4 yards on the pickup there, and now they're left with a 3rd and 8.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice gain like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now because usually you have the defense back on its heels.
10 yards and a Seattle 1st down.
As an unbiased observer, I think it would have been interesting to see what they would have done if they hadn't gotten the 1st down there. But since they did, I guess the point is moot.
And they're right there in that middle ground, field goal range, punt, go for it. But as you said, they picked it up. They go quickly here out to Moore. And he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards, back to the 33. That'll go as a loss of 5. And it'll be a 2nd and long.
When you lose that kind of yardage on a pass play, you often expect it to be a sack. But that wasn't the case there. They completed the pass. Probably would have been better off just dropping the football and making an incompletion as opposed to catching it and losing that kind of yardage.
So after a rare misstep on this drive, they'll try to make amends on 2nd and 15. They run the counter. Carson Just a yard on the gain there, and that leaves them with 14 yards still to go on third down. They missed a field goal on their last drive. Here they need something to even get into field goal range on third down. Wilson after the play fake to Carson. He's going to let this go for the end zone. And unable to connect. Incomplete. Now give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up fourth down.
When teams take shots at the end zone, you've got to defend it the same way you would defend the first down sticks. You defend the goal line exactly the same way. They can't cross that. You play through the receivers, and on that play, that's exactly what they did and batted it away.
And for the second time tonight, this field goal unit comes out here. This is a 49-yard attempt, right hash. Oh, and Myers left that one out there. It's no good, wide to the right, and this score will stay right where it is. So 2 missed field goals for him now, and that's helped keep them with a big 0 on the scoreboard.
Well, it's not the only reason they have a 0. The offense has been bogged down a few times now, but it's certainly not helping the cause any at all.
And now out comes Minnesota. And their 2 drives thus far both led to points, albeit both field goals, so the lead just 6-0, but the ability to move the ball is evident.
Well, that's, heartening, as they say, but it's not what they're about. What they're about is putting the ball in the end zone and putting 6s on the board. So if you're the offensive coordinator, you like what you're doing, but you don't love it. You've got to find a way to ring that bell. Then you can have a little self-satisfied grin. Right now, a little more determination is needed.
25 yards that time. So from Seahawk territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 35-yard line. They'll run it here. This is their fullback getting the carry. And they'll get this one down to about the 20-yard line. He'll get 15 and a Vikings first down.
I know a lot of times we like to put players in certain boxes. He does this and he does that. But this guy, he can do a little bit of everything. He's not just a lead blocker or a guy who protects the passer. Handing the ball, he might want to get out of the way.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. From the red zone now, Cousins. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he takes it down to the 10-yard line. They get 10 more there, and I believe that'll be enough for another first down. It will. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. A reminder coming up just a few minutes from now. We'll send you to Jonathan Coachman and our crew in Orlando. Coach will have a look back at some of the stats and scores. And he's going to be taken down, sacked back around the 18-yard line. Bobby Wagner, the former second-rounder out of Utah State, with a sack.
Well, that was point-counterpoint, wasn't it? They decided to throw for it on 1st and goal. Instead, the defense counters with pressure, and the defense wins, getting a big sack.
Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on second down. They'll try and run with their fullback. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. They'll get 4 back there on the run, but now they're looking up at a 3rd and 12 situation. A 3rd field goal of the first half, not what they're looking for as they come up on 3rd down. And Thielen's got it. Touchdown, Vikings. Adam Thielen. His 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Vikings are going to widen that advantage.
I wonder if he changed anything on his play sheet or they just executed better. Because they had 2 previous drives that ended in field goals. Before this one, they finally were able to put into the end zone.
Well, whatever he did, speaking of the offensive coordinator, might be using that formula going forward. It worked there.
Yeah, it worked very well. He and his field general in pretty good sync right now. They're starting to move the ball well.
Bailey got the extra point, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. That time a 6-play drive, and it all culminates in a touchdown for Minnesota. Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And Seattle now ready to march out of the field. And with still more than a minute to go in the half, time to try to mount a drive.
And I would think that they would have to. This is today's NFL. You got to push it whenever you get an opportunity. You can never have enough points with the high-powered offenses that you face. And analytics will tell you, try and score when given the opportunity.
Well, throw on first down with Wilson. He's going to fire this thing deep right sideline. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's second down.
This defense not going to make it easy for you. They're a physical group, and we just saw it there on that play. He came in, made the contact, just as he's trying to haul it in.
On the delay, here's Carson. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with a tick under a minute to go before half. And on third down, a nickel formation here defensively.
Quarterback, don't get nervous now. We ain't beginning to tear you up.
Out of the gun, here's Wilson. Open man is Metcalf. He's got it. And this is going to turn into another first down as the tackle is made at the Vikings' 45-yard line. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. From the gun, it's Wilson. He'll find Metcalf. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
Nothing fancy on first down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, he often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for second down, staying ahead of schedule. Looking to throw again on second down. Wilson. That's complete to Disley, the tight end. Now the Seahawks call the second of their 3 timeouts as they'll stop it with 13 seconds to play in half number 1. An inaugural trip to the red zone here for the Seahawks. They come up 1st and 10 at the 16. Throwing again here, Wilson. And he's got the hook up to Moore. Now here's a timeout as they're going to get it with 8 seconds remaining here in the first half. 7 yards the pickup on the pitch and catch. Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3.
Watch the run, watch the run.
Again, Wilson. And he's got it. Caught in the end zone for the Seahawk touchdown. Will Disley in the final seconds of the first half as they are now on the board here in the first half. The way this one was going, you just got the sense they needed something before half. They've at least got something on the board now. Still trailing, but a good sign.
That takes me back to our preseason tour of NFL camps. You remember we talked with that one coach who said his emphasis this year was scoring in the last 2 minutes of a half, heading into the locker room. This hits it right there. Take that momentum, take that good feeling, and take the locker room, regroup, and start over. They got it here.
They did indeed. And a lot of football, full half to be played. Final play of the half. It's Wilson. And they're going to get the two-point conversion. Caught in the end zone. And that cuts the lead a bit further. So they elect to pass there on the two-point try. Sometimes can prove risky. There it worked out.
Yeah, and I love how you bring up that it can prove risky, because if you get it intercepted and they return it, that's 2 points for the defense, but not on that play.
Boy, they're down only one score. Still first half, but they're going to line up for the onside kick. And the Vikings able to recover. The hands team does its job. A second quarter onside kick there that failed. Is that something that maybe they had dialed up before this game started?
It feels like it, doesn't it? That they thought they had the right situation, you know, and the right approach in going after it. Also may signal that they feel like they have the superior team, that they can try these sorts of things and it won't come back and hurt them later.
And this won't get there. Won't be online either. It's no good. Off to the right. So we've come to halftime in a 5-point game. As we send you cross-country to Orlando, Jonathan Coachman is there and has our EA Sports halftime report.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. We'll get back to you and Charles in a minute. But first, time to give the folks at home a look at what's going on around the NFL. We'll begin out in the windy city of Chicago. And those two are tied up as they play the second quarter. From there, let's head off and check out a second game. And you can see they are scoreless as they play the second quarter. Lastly, let's check on one final game for you. And you can see they are scoreless as they play the second quarter. In the game you're watching, it's been Kirk Cousins with a hot hand in the first half. His guys have the lead as we'll hand it back over to our commentators, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Seattle offense now set to come back out on the field. They're down here, but very much in this game. What's the tonality of a coach's talk when a game is within striking distance like this at intermission?
Typically, what they're doing is emphasizing the things that went well in the first half and wanting more of that. Sure, you've got to go over some of the errors and clean up some things because there's a reason you're down. But overall, I think they want to stay positive, stay up for this team. We're just starting the second half, and we've got the football. Let's go ahead and punch it in, and then we'll take it from there.
See how that recipe works. Give them 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
They stay on the ground. Again, it's Carson. They'll only get a couple up to about the 30.
They know that old expression, it's not my night. It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same. Pressure comes, and Wilson's going to go down. There for the sack, Everson Griffin. And no matter what the situation, the O-line just hates that because they feel like they didn't protect little brother back there, right?
Man, that's just so difficult for them because just think about every single play. When you decide to throw the football, You're dealing with some of the best athletes on the planet. You talk about guys, if they weren't playing football, they'd be starring in the NBA at power forward. It's a really difficult task.
Now here's Michael Dixon. And surprisingly, this is the first punt of the game for either team. And look at this. It's a fake. And this is incomplete. A huge gamble, and it does not pay off. They fake the punt. It doesn't work out. And the Vikings, they have the football now in excellent field position. And now we move our focus to Stephon Diggs. And he's been pretty good under the lights here tonight, hasn't he, partner?
He certainly has, and I applaud him for that because I don't know what it's like for you, but to me, preparing for a night game involves a little bit more. Trying to hold your intensity, hold that edge throughout an entire day of waiting to get out there and play. You know, the meetings, what time you're going to eat, all of those things. He's harnessed it very well. It's turning in a nice performance.
Yeah, he's closing in on 100 yards. For me, it's all about the afternoon nap for a night game.
I like the way you prep.
That one goes for 24 yards. They'll run with Cook. And he'll get blown up behind the line of scrimmage. Back at the 6. That sends him 2 yards in the wrong direction and leads to second down.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
Second and goal from the 6 this time.
Let's go, deep, tighten up. Let's go, deep.
Now Cousins. And he's got it. And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line. A touchdown-saving tackle there. Now it's 3rd and goal.
In so many ways, throwing the hitch route is actually one of the safer things an offense can do. Get the ball out to the receiver as fast as possible. Hope he's got man-to-man coverage.
Under pressure, down he goes. Sacked at the 10. Bobby Wagner, his 2nd sack of the night.
That's quite a stand there defensively. A huge sack on 3rd down, and that's going to force him into a field goal attempt.
So Cousins heads to the Vikings sideline, and on is Dan Bailey to try the field goal. And Bailey able to knock it through. And that pushes the lead to 8 points. They've doubled them up. It's 16-8. So that one is his 3rd of the game. Now, if you're wondering, that's only halfway to his career high, as he once had 6 field goals.
Brandon, 6? Let's hope we don't get that again, please. Can we see a few touchdowns here and there?
That'd be nice. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And Seattle now ready to march out of the field. Wilson and the Seahawks take over now, 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. Wilson going to fake the give and keep it himself. A quick throw here out to Brown. He'll be dropped after a gain of about 6 across the 30 to the 31. A gain of 6 there on 1st. They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31.
I don't even know why this team showed up.
To throw is Wilson. This one into the hands of Metcalf. First down Seattle on a pickup of 13. And just a small glimpse there as to why they like this rookie so much.
And that's why they lit up a little bit in our meetings with the coaching staff, didn't
they?
When
we talked about him, they did.
Yeah, they like his work ethic. This guy's running every route well in the route tree and getting better at it all the time, really honing his game. They expect a pretty good jump out of him as things continue to move on.
Draw play. This is Carson. And they went the wrong way there. Losing yardage back at the 43-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down. After seeing that, maybe time to go back to some downfield throws here.
Yeah, anything. Change it up, because the teams that win, the best teams, they're the ones that make adjustments. Doesn't mean you can't come back to what you thought you could get done. Sometimes when you open things up a little bit, you can get back to what you wanted to do before.
Watching the five. Hey, defense, let's go.
They run again with Carson. It's a gain of maybe 3, but it's going to leave them with still about 8 or 9 to go on third down.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks, allow other people to make tackles. But when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
So no sack. He gets back to the line of scrimmage, but it'll still bring up a fourth down.
But there was pressure all around him, so the only play was to try and get out of there. I think it was an excellent effort by him just to get back to the line of scrimmage.
Now here's Michael Dixon on, we think, to punt, though he's faked it earlier, but he was unsuccessful. He punted 4 times in the loss last week as he gets this one away here. And that'll hit at the 5 and go into the end zone for a touchback. Here's Stephon Diggs as he and the rest of the offense get ready to go again. And I know that they've double-teamed him a couple times, but not a ton. Whatever they're doing isn't working. He's up over 100 yards. We'll see how they adjust.
And when they do that, they weaken their defense in other places as well. And how many times have we done games where we've seen a guy have a big game like this, but it's usually not by himself, is it? Usually it opens it up for other people to have big games as well.
Fights forward for only about a yard up to the 21.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
On 2nd and 9, Cousins, left side caught by Diggs. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a third down.
He decided to run a hitch route. It really helped to have a guy who can turn it loose. And, boy, he rifled one in there on that one. Not much run after catch, but it worked really well.
And he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there. Nice job defensively. And it likely forces a punt situation on 4th.
I apologize in advance, partner, but the beefeaters on the interior of this D-line, you just know they were licking their chops on 3rd and short. And yes, they were rewarded with a tasty dish, stuffing that one short of a first down.
Here's Britton Colquitt now as he's on to punt for the first time tonight. And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. And that one hits at the 7, but bounds into the end zone, and that'll be a touchback. Here come the Seahawks now, set to take over on offense. And our game's hit a little bit of a lull here, a little bit of a snag. Punts on back-to-back drives.
And old-school coaches don't necessarily mind that. Didn't turn it over, right? Didn't create a big play for the other team. Right now what you're looking for is, can you gain an advantage in field position? And that's what both teams are seeking right now.
Yeah, they'll be seeking to gain that advantage here on this drive. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. It's a gain of 12, first down Seahawks. I don't know what this says about me, but I love successful runs up the middle when the blocking is so well executed like that.
And it doesn't matter whether it's zone blocking, whether it's a power scheme. When you have a blocker on a defender and then the running back can read it, find the proper hole, and just go, it's sometimes a thing of beauty.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10.
I'm here all day.
They'll keep it on the ground. It's Carson. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
You know what really fires up offensive linemen? When the guy that is carrying the ball behind them can create his own space and break a tackle along the way.
On 2nd down, it's Carson. He's got a first down and then some at midfield. And he's going to get this into enemy territory at the 45. First down, Seattle, 16 yards the gain there. They went counter there offensively, and a couple of defenders were on skates for a second.
They certainly were, and you know what offensive linemen love about the counters and the misdirections? Sometimes you don't even have to block the defender. He can run himself out of the play if he doesn't read his keys properly.
From Viking territory now, they'll come up 1st and 10 at the 45-yard line. Now they'll run on the draw. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
That didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
On 2nd down now, it's Carson. And he'll be brought down at about the 42. He'll pick up only a yard there, and it'll leave him with a 3rd and 7. And they'll need to get to the 35 if they want to keep this drive going on 3rd down. From the shotgun, Wilson. And that'll be incomplete. Now, they took their shot all right, but it comes up empty, and it's 4th down.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. Now here's Michael Dixon as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. And good hustle here as this is going to be blown dead right at the 9-yard line.
Absolutely love the flexibility of these punters. Their leg drive, able to get it way up in the air, and that allows their punt team to get down there and down it inside the 10 because they've had some time.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. This crew had to punt last time they had the ball, but when you've got a lead like this, you content to play the field position game?
You are to an extent, especially if you like your defense, because you have the lead, you've been controlling the game. But why put them in a tougher spot? You want to get out there and get something done on offense and maybe take command of this game yourself.
And as they come to the line, they will not be able to get off another play as time has run out on this 3rd quarter. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. First down, here's Cousins. That's complete to the receiver, Thielen. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. They get 14 there. First down, Vikings.
Well, it may seem a little unorthodox to some people. Got the lead, 4th quarter, yet he's still firing away. I think he believes that's the best way to go ahead and win the game.
Yeah, a lot of coaches say, let's just run the football, be conservative. He's sticking to his game plan.
No, that is his game, and that's what they're going to ride.
Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
That's someone who's pretty happy right there. That's the defensive coordinator. Body after body getting to him before he can get started.
Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. On 2nd and 9, Cousins. He's got the connection over the middle to Diggs. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. A big gainer there on the catch and run, 37 yards.
It's not a surprise when you read scouting reports and watch tape because you know he's a heck of a player. But he is so difficult to get down in the open field. They just want to get him the ball and let him do his thing.
So the big play gets him all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. Throwing is Cousins. Letting one go deep for the end zone. And that is incomplete. Showed off the arm strength there, but to no avail. 2nd down.
But depending on the team, they call that an explosive play or a chunk play, the one that they got on the previous one. They tried to go back and get another one, didn't they?
They did, but unsuccessful on that 2nd attempt. From the 24, they'll go again on 2nd and 10. Cousins. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be 3rd down. This drive, which was going so smoothly, all of a sudden it's a little bit of a roadblock here with 2 straight incompletions.
Yeah, apparently this defense has had enough. Apparently they're saying, no more. We're making a stand right here, right now. But it is 3rd and 10. They've got to get after him one more time.
Now yet another incompletion here as they fail to connect on 3rd. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. This to make it a 2-score game. Bailey's kick is good. And that will bump the lead up to 11. A big one there. That gives them a little cushion and makes it a 2-score game.
Yeah, bled a little time off the clock, put some points on the board. It's not totally out of reach yet, but it has to feel pretty good to them right now because as a defender, you go out on the field and say, guess what? You can put some points on the board, but that won't beat us.
Now after the field goal, Bailey will kick it away. This will be taken about the 12. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. The Seahawks offense now, they get ready to head back onto the field. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
They'll begin the drive with Carson. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on 1st down.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run, got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
Saw through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. Now, yes, a 2-possession game, but a good chunk of time on the clock, so they have the ability still there to run it on 2nd and short, but maybe they need to pick it up a bit.
You're right, they did pick up the 1st down there, but they, as you mentioned, they have to pick up the pace now because it's a 2-possession game. They've got to get there twice to make sure they have a chance to win.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down.
Watch the screen, watch the screen, watch the screen.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And very little running room there. He did get a couple up to the 49.
Yeah, baby, yeah.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8.
Man, I got you. Man, I got you.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's able to get this one down to the 40-yard line. 11 yards there and a first down for Seattle.
Yeah, they really needed to get something going, didn't they? They had punted on the last 2 possessions. The running game starting to come to the front for them, providing a nice pickup there to keep this drive going.
From Viking territory now, they'll come up 1st and 10, right at the 40. They'll run it now out of the gun. And a pretty good run there as he gets 7 down to the 33.
This drive is pretty clear. Almost feels like old school fundamentals, doesn't it? Want to impose their will on the defense. Was that 5 straight runs?
Yeah, 5 straight carries to start this drive. And like you said, the way it's working, they may just stick with it. And they'll be inside the 25 now at the 24. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
Yeah, once more, strong running, excellent blocking at the point of attack. They've got a nice little drive brewing right here.
All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10. Wilson defers to Penny here on the draw. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard. On 2nd down, it's Carson. And for one of the first times tonight, he's going to be held up at the line of scrimmage. The Seahawks on 3rd down, not quite 50%, 4 for 9. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation. They'll keep it on the ground. Carson, he is going nowhere as he is enveloped behind the line. Nothing doing on 2nd and 3rd down after that 9-yard gain on 1st.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
So on 4th down, here's Jason Myers for the Seahawk field goal.
A 32-yard attempt.
And Myers able to knock it through. And that'll make this an 8-point game. All right, so they needed 2 scores to get back in the game. The field goal there, maybe not exactly what they wanted, but the necessary first step.
There's still time remaining, and there's enough time to get it done. They've got to get at the least a 3 and out here to get the ball back, preferably a takeaway.
So the lead trimmed down to 8 as here comes the kickoff, and it's away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again. The field goal we just saw has this now at a 1-score game, and on this side of the football, things are getting pretty tenuous, a little stressful.
Blood pressure up a little bit, you think?
I think up a lot of it.
Could you imagine taking the pulse right now? It might be like a jackhammer out there on that side of the ball, but here's what the deal is. I think what we've observed is a team that's been playing not to lose as opposed to playing to win. And they've got to get back to that. And that means opening things up again, being a little more free than what they're trying to get done on offense.
And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. 6 yards to pick up, and that's a first down. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. On the ground, it's Cook. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3. Offensively, with the lead, you want to run the ball, keep the clock going, but you also want to still kind of be in attack mode too, right? So how do you do that and not come back on your heels?
Think about all the practices we've watched where they have that tempo period to go over things just like this, where they describe the scenario, tell you what they're looking for, and make sure that they're still attacking, yet at the same time not going so fast as to leave too much time on the clock.
Cousins now. Yeah, that one's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on 3rd down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a 4th down decision.
Here's Britton Colquitt now, as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. And the kick's away as he angles this one for the sideline. And this is going to be ruled out, I think, just inside the 20. Yes, it will. Side judge calls it at the 19-yard line. Chris Carson trotting back out there. And after a sluggish start, he's really bounced back. The numbers bear that out.
And you're a baseball guy, partner. How many at-bats over the course of a baseball season?
Oh, boy, 4 in a game.
Yeah, about 4 in a game.
4 times 162.
350 or so, right? Sometimes it takes a while for a guy to get going. That's my point. It's not the first few carries. You don't worry about that. As they go along, get that guy lathered up, get those blocking assignments down. Those 2-yard gains turn into bigger gains as the game moves along.
Eric Kendricks in on the tackle. So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. They'll keep it on the ground. It's Carson, and he almost gets this to the 30, taken down about a yard shy. 4th quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a 1-score game. So it's Seahawk football as we march toward a conclusion. They come up on a 1st and 10, desperately needing a score here on what could be their final drive. Pretty good results here on the 1st down run as he takes us forward for about 6. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4. He'll look to throw. That's complete into the hands of Carson. And he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a 1st down. 2 1st downs have him up to the 41 now for 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. 11 yards there and a 1st down for Seattle. They're making steady progress, but I see your face. You're worried about that clock.
I'm worried about the clock, and at some point you have to have a splash play in there as well.
Here's Wilson. He's got a man on the crossing route. That's Moore. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. Chewing up big yardage. Another nice gain there. This one goes for 20. Wilson now 13 of 16 throwing the football. It's 1st and 10. Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
Throwing now is Wilson. And he fends him off. And his throw is incomplete. The rookie DK Metcalf, the intended receiver. 3rd down here. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
And the blitz does come. And that is incomplete. There to knock that one away defensively, Eric Kendricks. He has had a great game defensively. He's been east-west, north-south, everywhere.
Yeah, and I love how you described that, because to be a great defender, you have to be able to move up and back, sideline to sideline, and he's been fantastic. Reminds me of a young Charles Davis when he was playing Madden.
Absolutely. Oh, wow. I thought you were going to go on the field, but okay, I see you. One score down. Here we go. They're going to go for it here on 4th down. They're going on 4th down. It's Wilson. Now in desperation. And this is caught. He's got it for a touchdown. And now in the final seconds, it's all going to come down to a 2-point conversion.
So they got the touchdown they needed to cut this to 2, but now they've got to get back to the huddle. No celebration time. Got to figure out what they're going to do on the 2-point conversion.
The late touchdown was only half the battle. Now they need the 2-point conversion to tie the ball game. They're going to try and run for it. And he is not going to reach the goal line. They were forced to go for it down 2, but the defense rises to the occasion, and they hold on to their lead. So the lead shaved to 2 now as the kickoff is away. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And this one all over but the shouting, you might say. Well, there's one timeout remaining defensively, but probably no real need to use it here.
Yeah, the only time they would use it, strictly for pride.
Now the Seahawks forced to use their 3rd and final timeout as they'll stop the clock with 12 seconds to go in the football game. Cousins just going to take this one down to a knee and end it. So the final seconds have ticked away in this Minnesota victory. And you look back over the score sheet, interesting. A very clean game, no turnovers by either side.
An absolute rarity when we watch games now, because defenses have put such an emphasis on taking the ball away. Well, what we saw here was offenses spending their time saying, look, you know they're coming for it. Ball security is paramount. So they worked on that, not just a week of practice, but I'm sure all during training camp. Make sure when you have it, tuck it away, because danger lurks everywhere you turn.
So for Minnesota, their very slim playoff hopes get a boost as they move to 5-7, and they will head back home next week. Meanwhile, for the Seahawks, this season is beyond salvage now as they fall to 2-10. And they'll look to regroup next week as they head to L.A. to take on the Rams. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Certainly have to thank Charles Davis, my broadcast partner, and our entire crew. We'll catch you next time right here. It's the NFL on EA Sports.